What up, though? What up, though?
What's happening?
What's up, fellas?
What's going on?
I see
Nice
we have
summer
it
day out
again,
this
huh?
way. If I
Hmm?
had
It's
confidence in my Wi-Fi, I would record. I was recorded outside.
Yeah, I thought about that too.
Mhm.
by the pool.
Yep, something like that.
Hmm.
What's going
Yeah,
on,
man.
fellas?
What's
Not much,
good, man? What's
man.
good?
It- It's hot down there in Tejas, man. It's hot, bro.
It's hot
So
out here
I ain't.
too. It's probably about
Is
the
it?
hottest been all summer.
Well, I ain't going outside, man, unless I just have to.
I know
Mhm.
that's right.
I heard that.
Hey, just so y'all know, man. Dre couldn't be on the show today because he's got a high level meeting with some investors. You know, he's a businessman, and so he's got some investors. He's thinking about starting up a underwater exploratory group where people paying money to no, this is what he said. He said he's
Okay.
serious. He
Okay.
said you just like the submarine submerged. He said his is going to be more reliable.
Hmm.
And what you
Hmm.
do is you pay him $10,000. He said he's going to give a reasonable free $10,000. You pay him. You come to his house. You put your head in his 10-gallon aquarium, but you'll get edibles first. You get the
Okay,
edibles and go
damn.
in there. Yeah, you come out safe, but you'll think like you get the feeling like you've been submerged under 10,000 feet of water.
So he
Mm.
gonna baptize people for $10,000.
Pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah.
That's a good one,
Yeah.
man. I'm gonna have to ask him about that one, man. Well, one of those shows he did have a Bible, man. So I don't know, maybe
Right.
he's seen the light, man. I don't know.
That's what's up. What's up? We gonna hold it down for him in his absence,
Oh
right?
Hmm.
So
yeah.
we got Rock, we got G Man, we got Be Easy. So what are we talking
Hmm.
about today, fellas?
Let's see. I think people just need to do you, be you, and confidentially wear your fragrances. So I think that's what we should talk about today, man. Oftentimes I see a lot of people in these chats, man, that they're so busy telling you about what your fragrance is not, rather than telling you what their fragrance is. They'll talk about, they'll break the quality of yours and say, well, hey, my $30 bottle is better than that $600 bottle you bought, and it lasts longer. It gets more compliments and all that. And honestly, I really don't care, man. I mean, I buy for me, and so if
Hmm.
I'm happy, I'm my number one critique. I critique. I'm number one criticizer, and I'm the number one person that's gonna make me happy. So I'm not into that, man. I mean, y'all the same way on that. I mean, what do y'all think?
Go ahead, Rock.
I mean, you
Uh,
actually hit the nail on the head. The nail on the head, Leonard. Basically, all these fragrances only got to make sense for you, right? You the one
hmm.
that purchased them, no matter how much you paid for it. You the one that has to wear it, this, that, and the other. And maybe your significant or other, whoever has to be in your immediate scent bubble, right? But other than
Hmm.
that, they don't need to make sense for anybody. To kind of add to what Leonard was saying, it's
Hmm.
not only the fact that they'll sit there and try to say that your fragrance ain't this or that. They look for confidence within others before they pull the trigger on a fragrance for themselves. Right? Is a lot of times I see in people that'll go out here and say, "Is it worth it?" We can't tell you if it's worth it. It's
That's
worth
true.
it for us,
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
right? So you
Hmm.
have to make your own mind whether they worth it. Or you'll also hear people saying, "Well, I don't get it." Well, if you don't get it, then it's not for you,
For you.
right?
Hmm.
Stop trying to force it, right? It's okay to not like every fragrance. Like what speaks to you.
Hmm. Another thing like to add to that is I like Middle Eastern fragrances and
Mhm.
certain
Chic.
people certain people will make comments and stuff. I don't, Middle Eastern this and Middle Eastern that and this and this. I get what I want to get for myself, and one of the things I like it's not smelling like other people, something that's different within the notes and the chords that I like.
Mm-hmm.
And then another thing I'm seeing too that kind of piggyback on what you're talking about is that same thing where if you don't like something they like, then you get all of this pressure and indirect hate. This is the only thing you should be wearing. This stuff that y'all wearing is not on this level of this. And I'm like, with fragrances, it's subjective. So just because you like it, I mean, okay, cool. But don't beat me down because of the fact that I don't like it myself. You know what I mean?
What do you think some of that could be jealousy, man? I mean, why do you think some people do that? I know some people are followers and other people are leaders,
Yeah, that
but
was my next
what do
thing.
you think? You think that's what it is? You think it could be a affordability issue? It could be, because my thing is people pay for what they want to pay for. Example I would use:
Facts. Facts.
a hotel room is a hotel room. It's an overnight stay that you rent. Whether you
Hmm.
get a 4-star hotel or whether you get Motel 6, that's your choice. You still getting a hotel room.
Hmm.
So it comes down to me to what you like and what you're willing to spend your money on. I'm not gonna go around and knock a Motel 6, a person staying in a Motel 6 because they just want to be there a couple of hours and they don't leave and spend a lot of money. Nor am I gonna knock somebody's paying 5-star money for a hotel and tell them, man, you could have stayed in a Motel 6 for a whole month for what you paid that one night.
What you doing there for 2 hours there, Lenny?
I ain't doing nothing but sleep, man.
I mean,
He said 2 hours. I was like,
the same can be said for steak, Leonard. It's like, shoot, if you like, I mean, you could like Texas Roadhouse, and I enjoy Texas Roadhouse. I ain't gonna
Yeah.
them rolls are the devil, bro.
huh?
That
Nobody,
bread is the devil.
exactly. Nobody can tell me nothing bad about Texas Roadhouse. But you got people that will only eat stuff. I mean, only eat from like a Fleming's or what is it, saltwater grass, or I mean,
Hmm.
Sawgrass, well, that's pretty much on the same level, though.
right.
Hmm.
Or
But
someplace that'll eat someplace that only serves Kobe beef or Kobe Wagyu type steak, right?
hmm.
And so you got people that'll only eat that type, and that's their preference, right?
Pretty
Yeah.
And
much.
so and it goes the same with fragrances, and we do hear that all the time. We're the biggest fools for paying so much money for niche when we can get the counterfeit for 10 times less. We're the biggest fools for that, you know. But in retrospect, we'll be like, you will some people will look at the other people as being the biggest fools because they're wearing a fake or a clone, right?
Hmm.
And so it all comes down to personal preference. If you wear it with your confidence, but I mean, it's not to push it off on other people as if you are smarter or what you're wearing is the end all be all. Because I mean, yeah, I've walked into someone else's airspace and they smelled something that was nice and it smelled good on them. And it might have been something that I've sampled or had or owned in the past, whether I've gotten rid of it or this, that, and the other. And I was like, that's not my style.
Hmm.
And it goes from there.
But
But I'm go ahead,
I
Rob. I
do
mean, go
like.
ahead, Vern.
I'm going back to what you were saying. I do think sometimes it is that because some people like in those groups, we're just kind of just sharing, like, hey, this is what I'm wearing today, this, that, and the third. And from some people that I've talked to, it is jealousy and they feel uncomfortable because they may not have the type of collection that we have, and then they will go grab something cheap. Like in the first Brotherhood, it was a guy that I invited in the group, and every day he went after us and stuff that we wore, trying to clown it, talking about for the price you pay for that, I got like 4 other fragrances and this, that, and the third. And my thing, if that's what your preference is, that's your preference. But why are you gonna sit here and then try to clown people that are collectors and they getting whatever they getting because that's what they want? So I
And B
do
man,
think in some cases it's like that too.
wasn't that the
Mhm.
dude that was driving the Mercedes, man?
Yeah, Mercedes with a $20 bottle. I'm like, come on, bro. Safe to
You
say,
got
the rest of the groups that
you
we've been
got to
in, I
make it
never
make
invited him again.
you got to make it make sense. Make it make sense.
Yeah, every morning, yo, he'll have the $20 bottle. And he in the Benz with some Louis Vuitton glasses. So I'm like, all right, whatever, But in some cases, it is that it's jealousy.
Well, how
It
many
is.
people? This is what gets me, man.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the time, not saying 100%, but a lot of times, the people that will buy those colognes will
Mm-hmm.
always compare it with a niche or name brand fragrance.
Yeah.
And they're quick to do that. Now, my question to you guys, how many of y'all have ever seen a person with the real thing compared to a dupe?
Like,
I hadn't seen it. Have y'all seen it?
No, I mean only when someone brings the dupe into question, then we'll
mm-hmm.
respond to it. But nobody
Yeah.
has really came in and because I mean you can't compete where you can't compare, right? And
Right.
so
Facts.
and then
Facts.
the thing is that a lot of people go into their initial thing is to want to be loud, right? So they'll go out and they'll buy this clone, they'll buy this dupe, and
Mm-hmm.
because it's louder, then it's better. But that's not what the original was intended for, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The original was intended to be intimate. It was intended to draw people in.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So a lot of people think that because it lasts longer, it's better. It's louder. It's better. I mean, if that was the intention of the original manufacturer, this, that, the other, they would have made it so, right? But a lot of people fall for those gimmicks. They fall for that because what they want is the attention of being able to smell good. Leonard put it best a few shows back.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of him is what's going to gather our attention, right? When he walks into the room. When he walks into the room, the way he dressed, the way he carries himself, the way he presents himself, that's is what garners the attention. The fragrance is going to be the icing on the cake, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people they want to announce themselves with their fragrance, right?
Mm-hmm.
And dupes are good for that. Clones are good for that. So they immediately think that that's better.
So
And
is
that,
that a confidence issue?
I mean, I was once told when I was back in the military, I was once told that people get tattooed. It's different now because I'm talking about 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But back in '88, I was once told when I was in the military that people get tattoos as a as a conversation starter, right? And I do think that people wear fragrances for a conversation starter. And I do
Some
remember
people.
that.
Some people.
Right. I do remember saying, actually backing up that this is the reason why, even though I own Savage, I own Aventus, that I hardly ever wear them because they're so popular, they're not conversation
Yeah.
starters. Right.
Yeah.
And so when you wear something that no one else has heard of, or no one else has smelled, this, that, and the other, it keeps the conversation going because they want to know more about that fragrance. If it catches their eye or if it catches their attention, they want to know more. They want to know where they can get it. They want to know how much it costs, or this, that, and the other. Blase split, right? You tell them you're wearing Savage, it's a commercial on Savage at least twice a day. You tell them about Creed, everybody that thinks they know about fragrances has a bottle of Aventus. So,
One.
right, exactly. So,
Mm-hmm.
right.
But
So and that's the thing. So it can be a conversation starter.
it's something that I like that Rock said, and I'm gonna go just a little bit deeper, but it's still staying in the same frame.
Mhm.
Sometimes we had a private chat, we was talking about a particular topic. And sometimes when a perfumer is designing a fragrance, it's for a specific reason. And I listened to one perfumer. They were saying that this fragrance is supposed to be used if you at a gathering, small gathering, champagne, da 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 da, somewhat intimate, right? And then another perfumer was saying this is made for when you're going to a meeting and this, that, and the third. And I was like, wow, man, I wish more people would see that because if they buy a particular fragrance and it's not beast mode, like what you're saying, loud, oh, it's no good. Well, maybe you need to look at the person who created it and what was their intent when they made it. And then once you see that, then that makes more sense. And that's the reason why we kind of levitate towards that fragrance. Then, like you were saying, like the intimate thing, a
And
lot of
that's
people don't. A lot of people don't understand that, and you mentioned it on the show, and Lenny mentioned it, and I hope listeners really get this in.
mhm,
Some of those fragrances, like if you're in a one-on-one situation, you don't want something loud. You want something that's gonna catch their nose, and then they get close and they like and then when that DNA mixed with that fragrance, that's the intent. So
mhm.
don't always think something is loud, it's not good. Start studying and doing your due diligence and find out what these particular fragrances are for, and then you probably get a better understanding or respect for it. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut it off, but
Oh, no,
you
no,
hit
no.
some
You
key
good.
points.
You. I mean, I'm glad you was able to finish your point. And to
Hmm.
add on to that, it's a that's a reason why a lot of us have all of these
Hmm.
vast collections. So we
Hmm.
have those options. We were talking in chat a couple of days ago. I'm going to a concert
Hmm. You sure
in a
did.
couple of days, and I'm like, okay, what should I wear to this concert? Now there's this particular concert. Yeah, it's a hip hop concert, and but it's an old school hip hop concert. But at the same time, it's an indoor concert. So do I want to wear something a little bit loud or a
Hmm.
little bit more playful?
Hmm.
It's a
Hmm.
date. So, but at the same time, do I want to wear something a little bit I mean a little bit something that's gonna draw her in, or
Hmm.
because we're in a venue, something that's a little bit
Hmm.
out. Like if we was outside, I would more definitely wear something a little bit louder, this, that, and the other.
Hmm.
But the if you the thing about having a vast amount of options give you
Hmm.
something to play with. I'm sorry, my shirt was looking balled up when I was looking
Oh
at it.
no, no, you're getting comfortable over there. You was getting
Right.
comfortable.
But yeah, but having a vast amount of options gives you to be able to choose and pick the right fragrance for the right occasion. I remember we also talked about when we were talking about you just added neffs to your collection, right? And we were talking about you was asking, was it worth it? Was it something that you need to
A
have?
must have in the collection. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And the
Hmm.
thing about it is with you and Antoine go to more formal events than me and Andre
You
would.
did say that. Yep, you
Right.
sure did.
And so it would fit that type of occasion. Now I have Neffs. I love Neffs. I
Hmm.
have yet to find a perfect occasion to actually wear it out. Now I have worn it to work, right?
Hmm.
But as far as an event, I haven't found the perfect occasion to wear it yet, and I can't wait until I do.
So
Well,
you the reason why I went and got it, because I mean
Right.
we talked about it a lot.
Mhm.
Which
Oh,
is
it's
which.
great fragrance. I can't
Hmm.
wait to pop that bad boy on.
so you, Rock, you going to an Ursha concert?
To who? Ursha? No, I'm going to see. And by the time at this age, they've been in past five, but I'm
Bernie, you,
going to
you
see
Rock,
Too
Huh?
Short.
hold on. Bernie,
Is
you
that?
caught it, didn't you?
It's just a urge.
Yeah,
Ursha.
Ursha, you looking at skimpy girls on the stage with them. I mean, I didn't know.
Okay. That's what you're talking about.
These are,
I'm
yeah,
going. Look, I'm going to see Too
yeah.
Short and Snoop Dogg. So,
Mm.
Oh, that's something
Too Short,
different.
yeah.
That
So,
was a tricky one because I was like, man, that's a lot going on, and then it's a date, so it's like
right.
I couldn't figure out what to pick for that.
Right. So, and I'm
Hmm.
still trying to decide. So, I'm once I figure out my outfit, I'll probably figure out what I'm gonna wear.
And
And,
let me correct
one
you,
more
Rock.
sec, don't
Go
one
ahead,
more
go ahead,
second
Bernie.
because it's something you said. Yes, it is confidence.
Hmm.
Uh, I'm not going. There's a few people who talked to me that the reason why they wore fragrances is that they was looking for. They were just getting back out dating, and they thought that the fragrance would be like the icebreaker. So I do think that it is some, and they won't say it, that wear fragrances for confidence. And when they don't get a particular reaction, all of a sudden they stuck, and that's what I think is kind of merging what you and Rock was both talking about. With the tattoo thing, conversation starter, the fragrance, I can draw them in. But we
Hmm.
said in the other show, is more to encompass that just than the fragrance. But I had someone tell me that that they wore something, and I knew what they was wearing it for. They was wearing it more for I'm
Mhm.
gonna pull more women, or I'm gonna get more attention, and this, that, and the third. And you're really missing the whole point of wearing fragrances.
I mean, Kevin Samuels says it best. It adds to your personal marketability. But
Mm-hmm.
he had the perfect catchphrase for it. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so but don't let it be all you're coming with, right? We talked
Oh
about
no.
Mm-hmm.
that on the other episode.
Yeah, we did.
Wear
We sure
clothes
did.
that
Mm-hmm.
wear clothes that fit you, wear clothes that suit your personality, wear clothes that suit your age range, you
Mm-hmm.
know, all of that, right? And have a personality that's approachable. If you're running around frowning, you're not going to get a compliment, right? Right. So
Mm-hmm.
folks are gonna be scared to
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
approach, right? So, but if you're wearing fragrances just because you feel like they're popular and everybody else is wearing them, it's not going to work for you because you're going to be uncomfortable in something that you don't like.
Yeah,
Right.
no doubt.
We've seen that. How many times have we seen um, fads come and go? Fad.
Yeah.
Someone will post one fragrance, somebody else will post the same fragrance. Next thing you know, you can't hardly get it. The price is up, and then three
Mm-hmm.
months later, nobody wants it. You can't get rid of it if you try to sell it because people bought into the hype.
Yeah.
They didn't even like the fragrance, but everybody else was getting it, so they had to get it.
And
So
that's
how many
part
times have we
two.
seen that?
That's
Trust
part
your
two
nose,
of the
not
topic.
your head.
Yep, that's
Mm-hmm.
part two of the topic right there.
Mm-hmm.
But
No, you're
I'm
right,
gonna tell you,
right.
I wear mine. I wear mine in confidence, man. When I put it on, I don't need the fragrance to make me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm already made before I put the fragrance on. So if you think what I have on stinks because it's not your preference, I really don't care. I bought
But,
it.
Mm-hmm.
but that's the
So
thing, though. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
there are several fragrances out there that people, the masses that aren't mass appealing, right? But I never would put something on me that actually stinks, right?
to you,
So, and
when I say to you,
to me,
Mm-hmm.
but
right?
Mm-hmm.
and even the most harshest, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna put it this way: the most least mass appealing, right? And then, for example, I use Amarage's Overture. I got compliments from Amarage's Overture. It's a fragrance that I love, right? But it's not something that's going to be mass appealing. It's not going to be something that everybody's going to rush out and go buy as far as for compliments, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I'm saying is that if you wear a fragrance right, people are going to compliment you. No fragrance out here is going to appeal to everybody, but you're not going to be wearing something out here that just actually stinks, right?
Mm-hmm.
If something is going to appeal to somebody, you're going to go out. And as soon as I walked into the office, my coworker was like, "Oh, you smell good. What is that?" Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and then I'm looking at her, I'm like, because it was a type of situation where I'm in the office with two young ladies and they look for what I'm wearing when I walk into the office, right? They want
Mhm.
because they know I'm wearing a different fragrance. They want to know what it
Mm-hmm.
is as soon as I walk in. So I'm looking at her and I'm like, "Are you?" Because this is a polarizing fragrance. Are you sure it smells good, or you just telling me that? She said, "No, I really like that." I'm like, "Okay, all right,
Well, let me ask you a
But
question, Rock.
mhm.
When you faced with those questions,
mm-hmm.
have you ever had to think about what you had on that day? Because I know I have. I mean, I'm gonna be
But
honest, man. I gotta remember sometimes I
and
what
I
I got
mean,
on this and I got that.
it's been different lately because I haven't had to reapply. But most of the time, I take my fragrance with me, and just in case I have to reapply. But
Mm-hmm.
most of the time, that they tell me they can still smell me past lunchtime, and I can still smell myself past lunchtime. So I don't think to
Mm-hmm.
reapply, but I take it with me just for that option. So even if they don't know, I mean, if they do ask me, I either have the bottle there to show it to them and be like, "This is what I'm wearing," or I got it there to just say, "Okay." Now, there have been times where I'm out and about and folks have asked me where I'm at, where I haven't took the fragrance with me, and I'm like, damn, what did I put on? It'd be like,
Exactly. Yeah.
right. Mhm.
But
I'm
like
gonna
you
tell
were
you.
saying, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm
Go
gonna
ahead,
tell you
Lenny.
the difference between and this will be real quick. The
Mhm.
difference between me and Rock.
Mhm.
Someone asked what I have on. I ain't trying to tell them.
Really?
None of your business. No, it's none of your business. You ain't getting in my Clyde.
Now,
None of your business.
now I drive Uber.
He
I
don't
do
want
drive.
nobody getting that club.
Now I do drive Uber part time, and I
Mm-hmm.
have told a young lady once. I was like, "Nah, your boyfriend ain't about to be wearing it."
Man.
I told her flat out. I was like, "She's
Mm-hmm.
like, what do you have on?" I'm like, "Yo, your boyfriend now about to be wearing this. You want to smell this? You gotta hook up with me."
You done already peep game, huh?
All right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mhm.
But like
Right.
I noticed that happened more with the hype when with the topic that you're using, that some people are lost or they're like attracted to what everybody else is wearing. So as soon as you get this hype fragrance, they go run and grab this and go run and grab that. But just like you said, wear what you wear for you and don't get concerned or get sucked in to a lot of those hype fragrances and stuff like that. Go to a place and sample it first and see if it fits your note profile. And if it is, then go ahead and get it. But that's why you see so many resales in the marketplace. Someone grab it. I think somebody said it was catching. What you said?
Catch and release.
Catch and
Yeah,
release.
I was like, what the hell, bro? And it
Yeah, like
was
you
one
out
of
there
those
fishing,
fragrances.
man.
Yeah, he said it was an instant catch and release for me. So it was a fragrance that's very popular, and when people asked about it, they got rid of it. So I knew instantly what happened with that. You followed the hype, you got it, you didn't like it and dumped it. Where you should have did a little more due diligence and sampled it, and then you probably would have figured out at that point if it's something you like or not.
Now let
It
me
wasn't that.
ask you.
It wasn't that
hmm
dude with the Creed, was it?
I'm not gonna say because they may tune in. So
Well, just I mean the brand. Brand was it?
no.
Okay, because I know.
It was the same brand that Neffs is made from.
Now let me ask you this.
Okay.
Let me
hmm
ask y'all this, and I'm pretty sure I know Leonard's answer. So this
hmm
this is probably actually just directed to Bernie. Have
hmm
you ever blind bought a fragrance and had to force yourself to like it because you blind bought it?
You ain't right. It's one that was in the collection. I wrestled with that fragrance and I wrestled with that junk. I said, this joke's terrible, man. I tried. I'm not gonna say what it is because it may cause problems. Man,
Okay. Well,
I
what house?
wrestled with.
What house is it?
I ain't doing that either because it instantly
No,
would
you don't have to
tell.
name. You don't have to name
Yeah,
because
I
so
know
many
what it
different
is. It's
houses.
He
Creed.
knows that.
It's Creed.
No, it ain't Creed.
It ain't Creed.
But
What? That's what I
well,
was
yeah, you
thinking,
know
man.
what? Yeah, it's two then. It's two of them.
Mhm,
One I did for a favor. The other one
mhm,
was hyped up. This
mhm,
is the best fragrance ever.
mhm,
And Rock know who it is.
mhm.
And you gotta have it. Right. And I said, man, this stuff is terrible, bro. And I wrestled with that fragrance for 5 months. The Creed one, I wrestled with it for 2 days. That was it.
Yeah,
It
that
was no
Creed when
way.
you got up out of
Got
there. You
Yeah,
got it was
I was
it
hot.
was
That was a catch
Viking.
and
It
release.
was Viking. I'm gonna go ahead and say the name
Yeah.
Viking. You got rid of that one.
Good God Almighty.
He didn't
Mm.
even catch that one. He talking about catch and release. He
No,
didn't catch it. He just released it.
man. I hit the pass. Oh hell no. I don't need no. But the other one, man, it was Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan. I was wrestling. So I'm determined to like this joint. I said, oh hell no, man. I had to get rid
Well,
of it.
well, let me ask you on that same note. Have
hmm
you bought a fragrance? Because I know I have. Blind
hmm
bought a fragrance, didn't like it, put it back on the back of the shelf, come back to it, and then like it.
hmm Yeah,
Because I've done
sure,
that.
sure did.
Yep.
That's why I
I've got
wrestled
a
with that one.
I've got a Nichonnet was it Colonies?
hmm
It's a saffron fragrance. And when I first got it, it smelled like roach spray.
You know, a lot of people, I haven't
Yeah.
smelled that one yet, but a lot of people say that's a good fragrance. It's supposed to be leather fragrance and this, that, and the other. There's a lot of
Mhm.
people that like that fragrance, but it looks like an
It is.
old school fougere to me.
I smell rose spray, man. I started quit calling it. I started quit calling exterminate. Just spray the house with it, man.
Mm.
But I
Mm,
put it back, and
Mhm.
and about a couple of months, man, went back to it, and I like it now. It's an
Mhm.
acquired taste, but initially I was like, man, it smells just like rose spray. I don't know why I bought this, but I got it on one of those Christmas specials,
Mhm.
and because blind buying, I ain't gonna spend nothing I can't afford to lose. So
Mhm.
the
yeah,
little
I'm gonna
money I
say
paid
I
for it,
I
yeah,
got a price limit if I'm a blind buy. And I don't have a problem with blind buy. I say about 75% of my collection has been blind bought, but I have a price limit. I'm not going to go above a certain amount if I've never smelled that fragrance before, because
Sure.
I've learned through these groups that the resale value is not what it needs to be,
Facts.
right? And so you don't necessarily get that money back, right?
no,
So you, like Leonard said, there has to be a limit where you can be like, okay. And then you also have to research the notes. You have to research the notes and actually
Bingo.
know it's going to
Bingo.
be something. And you can challenge yourself, because I did that with that Arquette one, that new one from our test,
Mhm.
um, which is not going to be for everybody.
which
Um,
what is that? Which one was that one?
the Indigo Smoke, right?
Mm.
Okay, okay,
Right now,
okay.
if
I
you,
thought you liked that one now.
I do like it. I like it, but it's not going to be for everybody, because the
Mhm.
majority of that fragrance is smoke. Now
Mm.
it
Okay,
opens with a beautiful, beautiful note of apricot and some type of tea, right? But that tea is gone, and that apricot is gone for the rest of the hour, and then the rest of the wear is nothing but smoke.
I don't know
And
how they do that.
yeah,
Damn.
and it's it's heavy to the point where it's hard to, layer with anything, right? Layer with anything, because it's so
that
much
smoke is so
smoke,
prevalent. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's so much smoke. And because I tried to layer it with because I was trying to get that Aventus thing going on. I
Mm.
tried to layer it with I wanted to see how that apricot was going to do with the mango. I tried to
Mhm.
layer it
Blockade.
with blockade. It did not work, and that's why you never heard about that layer, right?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
yeah, it did not work. And so because the smoke it was just so overwhelming. But by itself, I actually liked the fragrance. There was a moment when I first wore it, I had it way up there, but then I had to continue to wear it, and it brought it back down to earth. But it is still a nice fragrance. But it will, anybody else that's part of Fragcom that are in it just for compliments, just to smell good, probably would not get that fragrance. Probably would not get that fragrance.
Well,
But
is it one you can wear other than the winter months?
no, you got to wear it in the cold weather.
Mm.
Gotta
Okay,
wear it in the
that's what
cold.
I was thinking as a
Yeah,
winter fragrance.
gotta
Mm.
wear it in the cold weather. Now, when the reviews that I read, both on Fragrantica and reviewers, people are saying it's supposed to smell like by the fireplace that do not get by. I mean, I guess they trying to relate the smokiness to
Smoke,
it,
yeah.
but
Mhm.
no, number one is two different types of smoke. By the fireplace is like fireplace smoke, right?
Mhm.
Right, is chestnuts and just that.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
what by the
Mhm.
fireplace is.
Mhm.
This is like a charcoal smoke, right?
Yeah,
So
it makes a
Oh,
difference. Yeah.
yeah,
damn.
but it's it's a decent. I mean, especially when you first spray it and that apricot and that tea hit, it's bomb. But the problem is, it's gone like that,
He
right?
said that damn smoke kick in like, hey, what's good?
Right.
It ain't going nowhere.
It
But
ain't
you know,
going.
Damn.
realistically, any kind of smoky between smoke and leather,
Mhm,
if you put it with anything, they're gonna pretty much dominate a fragrance.
mhm. Now,
You're not
see,
gonna.
that's the difference. Cause see, I don't know if either one of you two have it. the smoking ombre the mod, I love it. Right?
Mhm.
The smoking
I don't
ombre
have
the
that,
mod, I
man.
love it. I mean, I can't get enough of it. It's blended
Mhm.
perfectly in there. Now, this one it tends to be a little bit heavy.
Dang.
Tends to be big.
I can see how it could be good in the winter, though, man.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah, I
I can
can't
see
wait
that.
to wear it in the winter. Like I said, it's. I mean, I still highly regard the fragrance. I do, but I
Mhm.
just can't wait to wear it in the
I
wintertime
think I
just to
think
see
you
what it.
told me. Tell the people about that one time you wore that, and the somebody called the fire department on you.
Well,
Did that really
now
happen? I was
see,
just making
they
something up,
actually didn't
man.
call the fire department because I mean,
I was just
there's a
making
lot
it
of
up.
time. There's a lot of times I'll broil me a steak, this, that, and the other, and I broil a steak, then it'll set the fire alarm off. Right. One time when the smoke detector went off, they just thought that I was broiling the steak and
I
didn't
Mhm.
I
call
was
us.
just making up stuff, man. I didn't know anything like that really happened, man.
It didn't. I was just following your
Is that he just following it through? Well, all right. So we're saying we brought up a few points as to why people should wear what you should wear. We got jealousy out there. We got the hype people that's out there. Then there's confidence. So, what are some other interesting things that you saw that people are real big on this? What about the people who only stay in a particular house and anything outside of that house is crap? This is the thing.
Oh, okay,
You
I mean,
okay,
but that's their preference. I mean, that's personal
yeah.
preference, right?
Mhm.
So I'm never knock anybody for personal preference. If you only want to, if you are dedicated to a house, you're dedicated
Mhm.
to a house. I'm dedicated to PlayStation. I'll never go to Xbox. So like,
He right about
But
that
X,
though.
but
It is people who are like that.
right.
but
So
Xbox is better, man. I got an Atari, man. It puts all
Oh
that to
Lord
bed.
have mercy.
It only costs $30. It's about 50 years old, but it's better than any kind of Xbox or PlayStation you got, man.
all
It's
right.
You
just as
Well,
wild,
good, ain't
bro.
it?
you know, I'm still gonna stick to my PlayStation. So it is what it is. But
Hmm.
it's pretty much personal. That's pretty much personal preference. It's personal preference. I
Listeners,
had
some of
another
the
point.
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. No, do that
I
because
mean, it slipped my head. Go ahead.
no, go ahead. Oh, you said
I
slip
mean,
your
I
head.
forgot it. I mean, it'll come back to me in a second.
I was like that too, and don't the thing about fragrances, man, it's a beautiful thing, man. There's
Mhm.
so many different fragrances, so many different houses. Um, wear what you want to wear, but just like how Rock went into the smoke area, venture out a little bit. Test a few things when you out and about with your significant other, or you just doing whatever you're doing. Stop at a Neiman Marcus or a Saks or a place like that and sample different stuff. And try different things because we can because the let's look at it this way. My grandpa used to say you need to have different tools because the more tools you have, the easier the job would be, right? So if you have more notes, more fragrances, different areas, you can get to enjoy it a whole lot better. But the people who kind of lock themselves in and beat everybody else down, try some other stuff and then see what you like. Because if it wasn't for the brothers, it's a lot of stuff I'd have missed out on the oud. Rock mentioned something about mind games. Lenny mentioned something about Clive and stuff like that. And Clive is a whole different bag. So when you're stepping over there, it's way different than it is to the other stuff that I have. But if I was a person who I'm only gonna wear this, or if you wear this, then this, that, and the third, look at what you're missing out on. So sometimes, step out there every now and again and get a sample and see what the other stuff is about. You like it. If you don't, you don't.
And that's the fact. But then again,
Mhm.
you got to take, for example, some people can't make decisions. Period.
There you go. There you go. I was
So they
being
rely
nice.
on other people. They can go in the
Mhm.
store and sample, but then instead of them to make a decision about what they like, they might look at the salesperson and say, "Well, what do you recommend?"
I've done that a few times though. I've done that a few times for a
But
particular
the
reason.
difference is, though, B man,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can make a decision. You do it on your job.
Hmm.
You do it in life. Some people just can't make a decision. They panic if they
Hmm.
have to make a decision. They're put in a position to make a decision, so they panic. And when it comes down to it, the exploration and all that you're recommending, they fail at it because you're not telling them
Do that,
what to
Rock, and I'm
get.
gonna come back because he brought up a damn good point. I'm gonna mention something that happened to me at the store. Go ahead, Rock. Don't
What I
forget
was
what you're
gonna
saying.
say is that when Leonard said that people say, okay, well, make a recommendation, that's another, it can be taken as another way to being like, open my eyes to something new, right?
Right,
Mm-hmm.
right.
What is it that you see that I haven't seen yet? Let me smell
Yeah.
it and let me see if it's something that I might like,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's something that I might do when I'm at a store. Don't push it on me, but just allow me to smell it to see if it's something different. Because one thing about FragCon that we try to steer away from is redundancy, and
True.
there's a lot of it in there. Because I mean, there's only so many different smells, and there's so many different
Right.
things, and this, that, and the other. And I do my best to try to support all of the new, especially black-owned brands, and this, that, and the other. But what I found out, as far as with these homemade fragrances and this, that, and the other, a lot of them smell exactly alike, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's kind of hard for to differentiate between this, that, and the other. But when you do go to these big box retailers and this, that, and the other, and you ask for a recommendation, this, that, and the other, this is what I've been wearing, but I'm looking for something different, but still within the summer, spring, something, show me something different, something without this in it, something without that in it, something that's going to blow my mind, but but smells different from what everybody else is wearing. Right.
I had called Rock when I did it. I went to Neiman Marcus to go grab some mind games, and the manager was there, and you could tell it wasn't like the regular salesperson where they kind of really don't know a lot about the fragrances and stuff like that. So as we was talking and she kind of saw what I had, I started asking her, what do you think? Like, which one out of this house that you like and why? And I wound up being there like an hour and a half, and she started pointing out different stuff, and it wound up being that pomegranate one, Rock, that me and you got. She was saying that these particular fragrances are more mass appealing, whatever the case may be. She said, I like this one because it's not that many fragrances that have the pomegranate and this, and this. Then she started moving around the store, and you could tell that she was real,
Knowledgeable.
well versed on fragrances. And I was like, okay, cool. Wind up getting it, and I didn't even know Rock had it. And it wound up being dope. Went to a Raven Oud, and you could tell the girl was just going with the stuff to push out of the store. But then once she kind of figured out this is a guy that got a collection, then she went into a whole nother bag and started showing me some other stuff. And I wound up picking something up based off of her recommendation and the stuff that I already had in my mind I wanted to get. But but in those particular cases, just like you were saying, to make a decision, I already kind of knew what I wanted to get, but it felt like one of the Frag Illuminati was there in another version. And now we're in there chopping it up, looking at different stuff, and I wound up adding something to my collection that wasn't redundant, like Rock said, that was pretty dope. And then if it's a female, you also get that other added point of view and what she thinks of it. So that if I go out on a date or whatever, and I know the age profile and stuff like that is more pleasing to them. So like you're saying, if they in your scent bubble, I don't want to be offensive. But if I'm out kicking it with the brothers or whatever, I really don't care. Or so. If that makes sense.
That's
I'm a complete opposite, man. If I go
Mm-hmm.
to a sales counter
Mm-hmm.
and they're pushing a fragrance on me,
Mm-hmm.
that's the one I won't get, even if it is good.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times what these sales agents would do, they have pressure to sell or push the sale on a product that's not selling.
Mm-hmm.
And so if they can push that off on you to increase the sales on that one item, then they're
Mm-hmm.
going to do that. So if
Mm-hmm.
I'm asking you, okay, what do you have different? But they're pushing, continuously pushing this one, I'm telling them I don't want that. It
Oh,
may
she
be
didn't push.
good.
She didn't push
Oh,
anything on.
I'm going off
You
the
just
back
saying
of
in
what
general.
Rock was
Oh,
talking
okay.
about. Don't push him with a fragrance.
Oh,
And
okay.
I'm the same way on that too. Don't push me on something, because if you're pushing it that hard, it must not be selling.
They do that out here in dispensaries, Leonard, and everybody knows I live in Colorado. So I live in Colorado, marijuana is legal here. And in dispensaries, if they have too much of a certain brand or a brand
Push,
that's not pushing
push.
out, put it on sale and they'll try to push it out, and immediately you know that it's garbage, because if they're trying to push it out, this, that, and the other, you know it's garbage. And so I understand exactly what he's saying.
So,
Yeah.
listeners, if you worrying about stuff like that, do your due diligence prior to.
Mhm.
Kind of have in your mind a few that you want to look at, and then you go out there, and that way you can kind of avoid that. But when
Well,
they kind of know that you have a collection and you kind of knowledgeable,
It's a
they
different
have a
story.
tendency that they back up a little bit, and they kind of, it's like you teaching them at that point. So it was rare that I ran into two people who actually knew about the stuff without reading off a piece of paper telling me what the fragrance add in it and stuff like that.
and the key of it is that I don't go into the store with ego because I got this. I mean, I try
Mm-hmm.
to build a rapport with the people there, because
Mm-hmm.
most of the time I'm not going to buy from them unless
Mm-hmm.
it's something that I can't get on a discounter,
Right.
right? But I'll leave there with multiple samples of stuff because I didn't build the rapport, or because I didn't bought enough from them that I built the rapport, you know, and that was prior to me knowing about the discounters and this, that, and the other. But if I can go, I like we'll sit there and we'll talk and chat, and
Mm-hmm.
somebody will say a certain fragrance smells good and this, that, and the other, and I know it's a brand that my Neiman Marcus or my Nordstroms would carry. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not blessed enough like Bernie, and probably G-Man too. And y'all have all the stores where y'all can smell everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
We do.
my Neiman Marcus and my here in Colorado are very limited as to what niche that we have. We don't have any Boadicea, we don't have any niche Chardonnay, we have
Hmm.
very limited Clyde, right? But when something
Damn.
does pop up that I know that are my Neiman Marcus or my Nordstrom's carry, I'll go smell it way before I even think about blind buying it. But then I've already done my research to know
Mm-hmm.
where I can get it way less than retail, right? And
Yeah.
so now I go there and I got the rapport with them, and then in that interim, I've been in smelt more, this, that, and the other. Like with the latest phase, which was the latest phase with the Louis Vuitton and this, that, and the other. I
It
went,
still is.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I went and I smelled what is the one that they're pushing out now?
Is it
Um,
Name Nomad?
no, well, I have
Ombre,
Ombre Nomad. It's a
Mm-hmm.
summer one that they was
Summer
pushing out.
Swim or something swim.
Uh,
It's
I
well,
something
not
know.
afternoon
something
swim.
swim.
Which afternoon swim is actually
Afternoon.
pretty decent. It's
I
another
don't know.
one.
I don't know if it's a cactus.
Pacific.
I seen.
It's
Oh,
Pacific something. It's
mm-hmm.
Pacific. And I'll look it up here since we're talking about it. I don't want to look stupid on
Well,
air.
by the time you find the rock, maybe done moved on to another one.
Right. But,
Yeah,
yeah.
another hype joint. Yeah.
Um. Yeah, but that one they was talking about that one,
Mm-hmm.
and why am I not doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Oh yeah, they was talking about that one, and I went and smelled it, and it was actually pretty good. Pacific Chill. It was actually
Mm-hmm.
pretty good, but it kind of reminded me of what I've already had with my Rosia fragrances. It kind of reminds me
Mm-hmm.
of it kind of puts me in the mind of Isola Blue, which is an Oligard remake, right? And it kind of reminds me of um Burlington 1819, right?
It do.
Yeah, it's kind of a mix between the two, right? So
All
yeah, so it wasn't something that I really needed because it kind of
Right.
I'm looking at it and I'm like, I already got that, especially for that price point. I'm like,
right.
I have something that's similar enough to it where not that they smell exactly alike, but they're similar enough that or the same scent profile where I don't need it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good position to be in, man, to where
Right.
you can be selective on
Mm-hmm.
whether you get a fragrance
Mm-hmm.
or not. Because if
Mm-hmm.
you only have 4 or 5, man, and you're
Mm-hmm.
trying to build, then you might just buy some of everything, trying to get to a point to
Mm-hmm.
where you can kind of balance it out.
And that gets you in trouble. That gets you in a
It
lot
gets
of
yeah,
trouble. It gets
Yeah.
you in a lot of trouble. And I know I've been there. I think when I first started, I was buying anything and everything,
Me
which,
too.
like I said, I've been good to go because I allowed my nose to develop to the point where I could appreciate
Mhm.
the thing. But when you're going into it with a designer nose and you're looking for something fresh, you're looking for something mass appealing, you're
Mhm.
looking for something that's everybody that's just going to smell good right off the rip without understanding what that fragrance is doing.
Mhm.
Going out and blind buying and buying everything that you hear everybody else that has that nose already talking about, it can be overwhelming. And you buy it and you be like, what the fuck is this? Right?
Mm. Yeah.
Or
Right.
Yeah, man.
why did I
Exactly.
do that?
Exactly. And one of those
Mhm.
fragrances in particular, two of those fragrances in particular, would be Ani and Fan Your Flames. Right? If you go in there expecting something mass appealing or something that is mass appealing or something that's going to be airy and fresh and this,
Mhm.
that, and the
Mhm.
other, you can get your feelings hurt, right?
That's the one that the dude said catch and release is Ani.
Was Ani? Yeah.
He
Yeah.
said it was an easy catch and release. I'm like, damn.
Mhm.
But that was like a fragrance that's very popular.
And which in
And
Ani is a bad fragrance. Ani
yeah.
is an amazing fragrance. But if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't know what you're looking for,
Mhm.
Ani will overwhelm you, right?
Or if you're not
Yeah.
mature enough for it.
Right. Ani will, because it's not a
Mhm.
fragrance that you can wear in the summertime. Another one is Portrait of a Lady. If you don't know what you're doing, those
Mm.
fragrances will wear you, right? Right. And so you go buying Portrait of a Lady going, well, I got Portrait of a Lady, just so you can say I got Portrait of a Lady, and you don't know what you're doing, and you wear it in August, you're gonna look like the biggest fool. Right?
I feel like one too.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And you're in the shower for hours trying to scrub that mess off, but it's still on
Right. But it's an amazing fragrance. You gotta know what you're doing. You gotta know how to wear it, when to wear it, this, that, and the other. You gotta know what it's for. And that's not one, and especially Portrait of a Lady, it's not one of those fragrances that you're gonna be like, well, it doesn't last long. Portrait of a Lady lasts forever.
you.
Forever, ever.
So you
Right.
ain't
Mm.
get rid of the old girl, huh?
You can't get rid of her.
She
Right.
Mm.
becomes a
But if
stalker.
but right, exactly. But if you not in the rose is harsh, the patchouli is harsh, the
Mm.
has raspberry in it. It is a loud fragrance. So, and if you go into it thinking that you can wear it in the summertime, you can wear it casually, it ain't gonna work. It ain't
Mm.
gonna work. It
Mm.
ain't gonna work. And the thing is, we're not telling you to go out here and buy all these fragrances and this, that, and the other. You can get you one fragrance for the summertime, one fragrance for the wintertime, one fragrance for the office, one fragrance for date night, and be set, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
be set, right?
Well,
But
Mhm.
I think that's a good point, Rock, because I'm gonna
right.
jump on that with you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Sometimes people buy fragrances, they don't know that they can be seasonal.
Mm-hmm.
And they go in the winter months and buy something that's good for the spring months because it's a good fragrance, and then they put it on, and then 2 hours later in the cold they can't smell it. But there are fragrances that are built specifically for certain seasons.
Mhm.
My son just graduated from college and he came out here to graduate from college. And
Mhm.
when he stayed with me, and then when he left, um I could still smell his cologne. I bought him 1 million elixir for
Mhm.
Oh
Christmas.
I remember
man,
you was talking
yeah.
about that one.
Yeah, and he wore that on his graduation. And I did have to explain to him, I'm like, okay, if you're gonna wear 1 million elixir, right, in the summertime, only do one spray. And right, one spray,
Mm.
because it's not a summer fragrance, right?
Mhm.
And not lie to you. I was smelling 1 million elixir a week after he left in my living room. And it got to the point where I was like, oh no, I don't even want to smell this no more. And I bought it, right? And so
Mhm. Mhm.
and I'm like, okay. So and I kind of explained to him that, It smells great. It smells amazing. Even my sister was like, because we went to breakfast and my sister was able to smell him over me, and I'm sitting next to her.
That's what you were saying. Yeah.
And I had to let him know, and I was like, yeah, you kind of heavy with that one. You gotta lighten that one.
But you know, one example I like to use, man.
Mm-hmm.
Years ago, I used to be in car audio, in two-car audio,
Mm-hmm.
and so I had like 6 12-inch speakers, a couple of 15-inch,
Mm-hmm.
had a couple. So, but the main focus on it was to focus on putting out bass, make the whole car rumble. I went from that to focusing on less speakers with more clarity, with more treble, the more highs, the more lows, with a tinge of bass to get the quality out of the product or the quality out of the sound. So I changed, and I think that's a good comparison to niche versus designer. Design is more like if you want the boom, boom, boom.
Mm-hmm.
Niche is more like if you want the fine tune. You really want to hear if there's a trumpet in the song, you want to hear that trumpet. That you can pick out everything in it. Same with these niche, you can pick out every note, and as it drives down, everything you're getting. So I think that's equivalent to it because that 1 million Lucky Elixir, he sprayed it. I'm starting to smell it now, man.
But like the thing about Rock did a great example in difference between designer and niche when he said that one fragrance he had open with apricots and stuff in the beginning and transition into smoke. You're not getting that out of designer. Designer is what it is, and that's it. And that's the reason why when the newer
Most
reviewers,
designers, that's because you do have stuff that are
high
kind
end,
of
but
artistic. When you think about it, I'm Braden Ahmad, even though it's Louis Vuitton is high end, it's still considered a designer, right?
So like that's one of the things that I like about it because you can those fragrances have certain notes and scents that I'm not going to get from the others because they're made in order to draw as many people in as possible to get the stuff off the shelf. The other stuff is just like that. Let's say that 50-year-old cognac or
man.
You know what I mean? Like these
you ain't drinking to get a buzz. You picking up every note in it. It's a mellow takeout.
Yep.
It don't give you headaches. It don't put you to sleep. It's just smooth.
One of the things I do before I tell somebody what I'm wearing is I ask them, I said, what do you smell? Right? Because one, I could be wearing a layer. And two, I want to know if their nose can actually pick up a note. Right? Right. So I want to know what exactly when they smell me and they tell me that they're smelling good, what exactly are you smelling? What are you picking up? Are you picking up pineapple? Are you picking up saffron? Are you picking up tobacco? What are you picking up? I'm like, I want to know exactly what about the fragrance that drew you in. Now, in most cases, right, no one can actually pick out the note, right? But you do have rare occasions where somebody will say, or they'll take a good stab at it and they might get it wrong, or something of that so much. But I just find it interesting to see what it is they smell, what they pick up, and what they might have found out in there that drew them in.
Well, be confident in what you wear. Today, I'm wearing Killian.
I saw you post that.
This one? Blue Moon. It's
you waited
pretty good on a hot day. Yeah.
Yeah, you said you're gonna wait until it got hot before you test it.
Yeah, I bought it during the winter months when it first came out, and it's not durable for the winter months. It's good in the spring and the summer.
How you like that gin note in there? Is it too strong for you, or is it?
No, this is actually someone was asking me about it. What type of scent is it? And to me, what I told them, I said it's one of those that wears closer to your skin. It doesn't project out. You're gonna wear it for a business casual or a casual event. It's not a suit and tie kind of fragrance. but it's a good mellow fragrance if that's what you're looking for. It's not
But
overbearing.
don't allow it to lure you into overspraying, because it
Yeah,
is
that's right. That's
it
right.
is rich to the point where it wears light, but it is
Yep.
rich. If you spray a lot of it, it can ruin the whole experience.
Yeah,
Right.
that's a
So
fact.
mhm,
And
That's a
it's
good
kind of
point.
deceiving too, because
mhm,
you spray 3 or 4 sprays and you're like, well, I don't hardly smell it that much.
mhm.
And then you spray a couple more, then you turning fans on and everything else, man, trying to figure out what kicks
It's
in.
one right. It's one of those that you do those 3 or 4 and you just allow it to see what it's going to do. Right.
Yeah.
Because if you give up on it, and I mean, well, not give up on it, or if you rush the gun and thinking, okay, well, I didn't spray 3 or 4, I don't think it's heavy enough, and you go spray too much. I mean, 2 more, you didn't spray too much, right?
But and the
So,
other thing you have to remember, it's a Killian product too.
mm-hmm,
And most
yep,
of those, after a couple of sprays, they're not too much overbearing.
mm-hmm,
But if you spray them a couple of times, you're gonna smell it.
mm-hmm,
But on this one, 3 or 4 sprays, you barely smelling it, and you spray a couple more, then it's too loud.
exactly, exactly.
So what you got on over there, Rock?
I am wearing. I thought I brought it out here, but I guess I didn't. I am wearing from BDK. I'm wearing Grease Charnel today. I'm wearing the EDP.
You
Right.
like that one, huh?
Yeah. Well, this is the first time I've worn it since it's warmed up. It was just for the for me to just kind of see if I could wear it in warm weather. They have it more as a cold weather scent, this, that, and the other. So I put it on today to see if I can, if I can get away with it in warmer weather. And it's been doing okay. I've only sprayed my neck. I didn't do the wrist or anything like that. But it does do okay. The key players in that particular scent is going to be Fig. Is going to be
You like that fig, man?
right. Fig is going to be Iris. Is going to be Tonka Bean. It
Oh yeah.
is a nice scent. I haven't tried the extrait yet. They also have an extrait version. Um, People said it
But
just
is it needed? You think you would need the extrait?
Now I've talked to people like, because that's my question, that's my go-to question, and Antoine has it, and Antoine has both, and Antoine said owning both is not redundant, right?
Okay.
So, and
What about what about the potency?
it'll last you all day. It will last all day.
Right, and
It is not.
that's I guess that's my question. If it lasts you all day, is
Mhm.
there really a need to get the elixir?
I think the elixir has different notes in it, right?
Okay,
And I'm not
it's a big
sure.
enough difference
I mean, not
between
elixir,
the
the
two.
straight have different notes in it, and I think let me, I just want to make sure, y'all. I don't want to be live and telling lies.
Your boy does all the time, so I mean, it's okay.
Oh, you wild, man.
I had to get him, man. He down in the playing in fish
Mhm.
aquarium and stuff, trying to make $10,000. I had to
So out
get
there
him, man.
baptizing people.
Yeah, he's baptizing people.
Huh?
What you got on B, man? While you looking that up?
Well, by the time this air, I'll probably say something on boards about it. It's a layer, one spray rosewood, one spray tartile silver. I wanted the vanilla to pop out of the rosewood. So I did one spray rosewood, one spray tartile silver, and it is dope.
It is.
Yes. Yes. I
Last
did it
all
by
day
accident.
too. I bet you by accident.
I I did it by accident and I was like, damn, and you know how you have in your mind what you're gonna wear. So I hit it, I hit the silver, and then I got a phone call, ran, picked up the rosewood. I was like, oh damn, oh, so
Yeah.
it brought the vanilla out of the rose. It was good. Pretty
Mm.
good.
Now the only difference I see so far in these notes, and this is to go back to the Grease Charnel, is that I do see something they call Citrus and Canis. I have no idea what that is. I think that's a floral.
I never
What's this
heard of
thing,
it, man.
man? What's this thing with you and the fig? This is about the third one. What's going on with
Man,
the fig?
He likes the
I like
fig,
them
man.
fig notes, and I like fig in fragrances, and but I did have to scale down. I got rid of my silver birch, which had this fig in it, right? And so, but I still have this, and I got the I still got this. I got the the one that me and Leonard doesn't have this one, but we got the brand, the Fougere Real. I mean the Fizier Noir.
Fusier Riol. Yeah. New
Yeah,
York.
Noir.
That's actually
And
pretty nice, man. I sampled that one.
yeah,
It's actually pretty nice.
in the 11th hour. And shoot, of
You
all
got
that,
a fig.
that's enough. Got a little fig in it too.
I think because Leonard mentioned something on one show about a fig that he had, and I don't know if it was a collab
No,
or
that
the other one with the crystals top.
Yeah. And
no. That's
the Extrait also has
Mm.
vanilla in it. It has vanilla and cedar in it. So it's a little heavier. So it's a
You
little
don't.
difference between the two. I haven't smelled it, but yeah.
You say you did have a fig or you didn't have a fig, Leonard? I remember one time
no,
you
I don't. No, that was Rock
Oh,
saying
okay.
that.
The
Yeah,
fig.
he
Okay.
mentioned Fig New York, by Hubagant. I have the Extrait
You got the
Fusier
Fougere
Royal.
Royale, which is an amazing fragrance. I need
It
to get
is,
a full
man.
bottle of that one. I wore that one
Yeah.
in Florida. Man, that's a good fragrance. I like that one. That's a good one for the summer. That's a good summer date night
Spring and
fragrance.
spring too, man.
Yeah.
You pull that one up in the spring too. Just the heat. Just fool with it and eat, man. But I like them.
Oh yeah,
That's
I love. I want to
I mean,
smell the Extrait and see how that is, but that's $600 price tag. I don't know.
well,
But
it ain't nothing but money, man. Ain't nothing but money. Go on and get it.
yeah, oh no.
I'm sorry. I thought Dre was on here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you had
600.
Gray was on here.
He said
You know,
600.
but more of the story, fellas.
What's that?
Sum it up,
I
then.
mean, more of the story to the listeners is wear what you want to wear. That what speaks to you. You know, believe your nose, don't believe the hype. And if you like it, don't allow anybody to tell you that it's not good. Right. We have seen in a lot of these groups where folks do play pop follow the leader, and as soon as one person says it's good, another person says it's good. A lot of people will. I mean, one person says it's not good, somebody else will say it's not good, and it follows suit. If that's a particular fragrance that you like, don't allow them to offend you, because that does go on a lot in FragCon. Right. A lot of people outside or that are in FragCon will say that FragCon is like one of the most difficult communities to be in because of that fact. Folks will get out here and say, just come blurt out that stuff stink, not knowing the artistic meanings behind certain things and the reason why they wear fragrances. A lot of people that call themselves, I'm sorry, I got a bit of indigestion. A lot of people that call themselves fragrance lovers aren't, because of that fact. They will try, if it's not the most mass appealing, most regular scent in the world, it doesn't smell good to them. So, but if it smells good to you and you like it and it gives you confidence and it gives you a good feeling, wear it.
I've seen people, and I'm on this my last go before we get off because it's time to wrap it up. I've seen people that will knock a fragrance and they've never tried it.
Come on, bro. I can't stand that.
So
I can't stand that.
You'll ask them, well, this is not that. Have you tried it? No, I hadn't tried it, but I heard those people tell me. Well, if you hadn't tried it, don't give your opinion. Because it really not gonna make any difference. You're not going to convince me what I have is no good. and I'm not going to convince you what I have is good. So that's a wash. So, you know, like Roxanne, follow your nose, follow you.
Mhm.
You're the best person you know you can be. So go by what you believe, go by what you like, and whether you get a compliment or whether you don't, me personally, I don't care. I buy my own
Mhm.
fragrances for me. I I, I got the best compliment the other day, and matter of fact, today. And guess who it was from?
You.
Me. I sprayed it. I was like, damn, it smells good, man. And I was completely happy behind it.
It make you do a little juke. You do a
Hell,
little bass
man.
head bouncing. You know when you know you smelling good. You like, okay, well, you like, well,
Yeah. But
you know you
I quit before
right,
my wife came in the room and saw me acting silly. So I was good after that.
right.
Rock, finish us up, man.
Well, shoot, if you like this content, you like what we talking about, go ahead and issue us a like out here down in the comments, this, that, and the other. Go ahead and subscribe and share us out to other folks that you feel that could vibe with us and that what we're seeing is relevant to what you guys feel about with fragrance. We do appreciate if you have taken the time out to watch these videos, if you have taken the time out of your day to partake and let folks know about us, this, that, and the other, we appreciate you. We appreciate you guys coming back. We know we have been gone for a minute, but we are back. We're gonna try to keep these steady going. I know one thing. We do know that one thing that's going to help us grow is that if we continually to feed the algorithm, so look out and see more, look for more information or more content out for us. We are also out on Instagram, so follow us at Frag Illuminati on Instagram, and we're also out on TikTok. Follow us there, and we do look forward to place things out there. If you have a comment about today's show, keep it
Mhm.
positive, of course. I mean, we're okay with constructive criticism, but don't
Criticism.
focus, right? Um, leave your comment. Let us know what you about things that you heard in Fragcom as far as people wearing their fragrances for other reasons besides what deem appropriate or what should be appropriate. And also, if you have other show suggestions that you want us to talk about, put those down in there. So, with that being said, for myself, Bernie, and G Man, we are the Frag Illuminati. We're here in Dre's absence, holding it down. And if fellas got anything else to say, we are on our way out.
Yeah, Dre's baptizing folk, man.
He said 10 grand to baptize
That's Reverend
him.
swimming in the blood.
You wild, man.
Later, people.
Y'all have a
All
good
right.
one. We the Illuminati, y'all.
He's stupid.